Well, hello and welcome out to Arkadelphia, Arkansas, where the Badgers of Arkadelphia are going to be facing off tonight. The men and women of Arkadelphia facing off against Mena. Good matchup here in Arkadelphia, though. I'm Joshua Salem, and I'll be joined tonight by Chris Babb. Shortly, we'll give you the starting lineups, though. We'll start it out with the girls of Mena. The Lady Cats tonight have traveled to Arkadelphia for a matchup with Arkadelphia High School, the girls' match, before the guys afterwards. So we got two games today for you. So for all of you listening, stay tuned. We've got two matchups for you today. Leading it off for Mena, you've got Katie Cannon and the starting five. Katie Cannon, Kira Kesterson, Gracie Lyle, Tately Thacker, and Paige Evans. Those are for Mena. As well as for Arkadelphia, you've got Jamari Whitaker, Mary Jane Adame, Haley Nix, Ashari Whitaker, and Hannah Finaki. This will be another matchup for the 7-4A division here in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, and a beautiful day to have another matchup because we're indoors. It's pretty cold here in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, but Mena has traveled all the way down, and Mena's got a good team this year. They're 8-8 overall. In conference, they're 3-2, though, and they're ranked in the state of Arkansas at 123rd in the Arkansas Class 4A division. On the other hand, for Arkadelphia, they are currently 4-12 overall, but they are 1-4 in conference and looking for another win tonight, currently ranked 222nd in Arkansas. Another note is that the girls' team is currently looking for their fourth straight home win this year. So despite being 4-12, they are coached as well by Jonathan Klein, whereas Mena is coached by Scott Wright, and we're about to get on to the game with the tip-off. It'll be Hannah Finaki as well as Paige Evans for the tip-off, and the Badgers will win it courtesy of Hannah Finaki. Be dribbled up the court by Jamari Whitaker and passed around. Looking for Mary Jane Adame, but instead it's taken away by the Lady Cats. Lyle has it. She's looking for another one of her teammates, but she'll hand it off to Kesterson. Kesterson tosses it over to Cannon. And back to Kesterson again, to Cannon once again. And it'll be kicked off and out of bounds, out of play. So that will leave it at Mena's ball, and they'll toss it in. Just underway again. I'm Josh Salem. I'll be joined shortly by Chris Babb momentarily. Gracie Lyle tosses it off to Paige Evans. She's dribbling in and will hand it off again to Kesterson. Evans inside, tosses it around the outer rim of the three-point line to Cannon. Still moving it around are the Lady Cats. Tipped up and stolen as the Badgers move it up the court, but thrown too far out of the reach. Ashari Whitaker looking for Haley Nix, just missing the pass there. Well, the Lady Cats will look to get on the board first here as no one has scored just yet. It's a 0-0 ball game. Inside, and a good pass as it's 2 points to get the Lady Cats on the board, courtesy of Tately Thacker. Passing it up the court now. It's dribbled by Haley Nix. She thought she drew a foul. It's going to be an attempt, and there's the foul as Mary Jane Adame will get it. Foul goes against. I'm actually not sure. I will let you know whenever I figure that out, but Mary Jane Adame will miss the first. It's a 2-0 matchup. I believe Gracie Lyle was called for the first foul. The second from the charity stripe will rim out as well. Almost stolen by the Badgers, and they will get it. Good poke away by Adame. And that'll get the Badgers on the board with a three-pointer. As it was Ashari Whitaker puts the Badgers in front of Mena, 3-2. Driving inside and a shot up, but a foul will be called. Kesterson, a good draw there. I believe that's Hannah Finoki with the first foul against her, and now both teams have a foul against them. Still a 1-point lead for the Badgers as the first shot is missed from Kesterson. And that'll get kissed off the backboard and the rim and go in for a tie ball game now. 3-3. Full court press from the Lady Cats, and little miscommunication. It'll be a attempt by the Badgers to get it out, but punched away, and now a lot of miscommunication by both these teams. Looking down low, finding an open receiver, receiver open. Pass right there down low, but a foul called against Hannah Finoki again. She's off to 2 quick fouls as Paige Evans trots over. Looks like Haven Cooper will come in after the free throw. Got a little antsy there to try and get in there early, but it'll be the third point for Tately Thacker as she's able to bucket the first of 2 free throws and put Mena back on top by a point. And she will make both of them. Good press by Mena. Badgers having to stay on their toes, tossing inside, and a good move inside by Haley Nix. We'll tie things at 5. Good job by Nix just to get up the court quickly and put that into the basket, blowing right past the Lady Cats. Almost stolen again by Haley Nix. Thrown off of the backboard and in. Dangerous pass, but the Badgers still come on top with it. And a missed layup by Cooper. Three-pointer hits off of the rim and taken away by the Badgers. Moving it up the court quickly now is Ashari Whitaker. She'll stop, turn, put up a 2, but it'll rim out and rebounded by the Lady Cats. The Cats will reset as Kesterson holds on to it, but passes it over to Cannon. Around the outer rim of the three-point line, Evans has it. She'll dribble forward and pass inside to Cannon, who draws the foul. That's the third foul we've seen. I believe that is another foul against Finoki. Excuse me, the foul is actually on Haley Nix. First is made as the second is up, but it'll rim out from Katie Cannon. Badgers flying up the court right now. Outside. Jump stop, but caught again by the Badgers, and they'll reset. They're down by 3, 8-5. Whitaker passes it around to Nix. Nix looking, driving inside, throwing up a prayer, and it'll be knocked out, but a foul called. And that'll go against Paige Evans. Nick's looking for 2 more buckets here off the free throw. She's already got 2 on the day. And the first will hit off the left of the rim and go out. Can make it a 2-point game with a drained free throw here. Gathers herself and puts it in. 8-6 now your score. Grace Lyle going to reset at the top of the A. Good crossover, drives in, and looking for a pass here just to reset once again to Kesterson. Lady Cats looking for an open look. It's from Lyle. It'll rim off the top of the backboard. We're looking for a travel there, but the Lady Cats didn't get it. Pass over across and driven in. Foul not called, but a lot of contact down low as Mary Jane Adame was trying to put up the ball. Or excuse me, yes, Mary Jane Adame was trying to throw one up. A good dribble inside. Badgers trying to rebound, but instead they will knock it out off of Nix. Last, it's still 8-6 as we continue play. 2 minutes and 41 seconds left in this first quarter of play. Off the top, looking for a rebound and knocked out of bounds by Haven Cooper. Lady Cats to throw in again, as Adame will get a breath and go to the bench. Now into the game, Olivia Locke. 3-pointer, long, but a fight for the rebound. Looked to be a travel again as well, but kept alive by the Lady Cats. Across court, pass. Dribbled inside, stolen away by the Badgers. Driving up the court, that's Cooper. Throwing one off the backboard, but it'll be a travel off of, a jump ball, excuse me. Interesting call. Looked to be a clean block. And we're going to have a new 5 for Mena on the court. You've got Emily Wagner, Brenna Ains, Allie Wright, and Hannah Stockton, and dribbling up the court was Emily Wagner, as well as you've got Andrea McClare in. Stolen away by the Badgers. They're moving up the court. Good move by Nix. Driving in. Good pass, but thrown off of the top of the backboard, and it'll continue to be a 2-point game. Nix a little upset right now as just showing some emotion currently as she fell down on the court, but she's all right, getting things going, but she will head to the bench now and take a break, get a breath. As for the Badgers, Kaylin Rook-Sims will come into the game. Bearcats looking for an open look here, down low, and put in on the easy 2 by Hannah Stockton. Badgers down by 4, 10-6. We'll look to recover with 1:14 left in the quarter. In a tough place in the corner, but the Badgers will get it out, moving around the arc and reset. Whitaker, good spin move, thrown up, and it'll be a foul called against the Lady Badgers, and so Haven Cooper will go to the line, try and shorten the deficit of this 4-point lead. She'll go through her routine and take her first of 2 shots as it rims off the front and back of the basket. Well, we're 17 minutes into, we're almost done with this quarter as the second is made. It's a 3-point game, a one-possession attempt now for the Badgers to try and close it out here in this first quarter of play on top, or at least tie things, as the Lady Cats will reset with McClare. She'll toss it around the outer rim to Allie Wright. Looking inside, a good find. Brenna Ains going to put one up, but draw the foul. Pretty even game so far. A lot of missed baskets that both these teams would like to have back. Badgers currently out-stealing the Lady Cats on the night, however. And the first put up from Brenna Ains will fall short. She'll take her second now as it goes in. 7-11, moving up the court quickly. Rook Sims will throw it up, move between a defender or two, and shorten it to a one-possession game. It's 9-11. Passed across court, and that'll be a travel called against called against Allie Wright. The Badgers would like to finish with the final possession here in the first quarter, down by 2. Good moves, though. Up and a good pass. Interesting, no call on the foul, and it'll still be the Badgers' ball as the Lady Cats are unable to get to it in time. 14.4 seconds left on the clock here in the first quarter of play. Rook Sims throws it inside, stolen away. A fight for the ball, but a good job by the Badgers to get to it. Resetting, it'll be Whitaker. Passed across to Rook Sims. Back to Rook Sims. 3 seconds left. A three-point shot. Off of the rim, it'll rim out. So after one quarter, it'll be 11-9, and I am now joined with Chris Babb. It's great to have you on, Chris.
Glad to be here with you now, Josh. There we go. We'll get things situated. Good start by the Lady Badgers. Appreciate you hopping in tonight and being able to help us out. It was good to see Haven Cooper back in that lineup. You know, you and I were talking this afternoon that Haven started last year for the Lady Badgers, but this year she suffered a knee injury early in the offseason. Had surgery, a minor surgery, and was able to she just got cleared in the last 2 weeks. But good to be able to see Haven back in there, seeing her active. I know she's ready to see some shots fall other than just free throws, but good action by the Lady Badgers, down by 2 here as we start the second quarter.
We're absolutely right, and Haven Cooper doing a great job on both ends of the court with moving it up quickly and getting some baskets made as well. But it is 9-11. Currently, we'll start the second quarter of play momentarily, as it'll be the Badgers' ball with Rook Sims on the inbound. She'll get it in, and the Badgers will look around the three-point line to find an open look here, a high-quality shot, if you will. Rook Sims with it. Passed across to Hannah Calhoun. Back over to Rook Sims.
Nice hustle by Olivia Locke, saving that one from going out of bounds.
Whitaker with it now. And it's stolen away by the defense of the Lady Cats, by Tately Thacker. Open look 3, but not taken. Pass inside. Thrown off of the rim. Moving up the court quickly is Whitaker. She'll throw it too hard, but rebounded by the Badgers, and a foul called on the Lady Cats. It'll be Olivia Locke to shoot 2.
Good hustle that time on the offensive end of the glass by the Lady Badgers. Jamari Whitaker. On the other end, it looked like it was trying to a pass from the short corner down to a low block, but it went off the rim. Jamari got in transition, tried to avoid contact, but a nice hustle by Olivia Locke, and she's rewarded with a trip to the free throw line.
And she makes the first as well. She'd like to get one more reward as well, but it'll rim out. And so it'll be 11-10. Badgers down by 1 as we continue play with almost a minute gone in this second quarter of play. Katie Cannon down low, and a short jumper connected by Paige Evans to extend the lead 13-10, thrown out of bounds by Whitaker.
Lady Badgers have lost that baseline cutter the last couple of possessions coming from the backside. I try to get that corrected in their man-to-man defense that they're running tonight.
And the Lady Cats have done a good job forcing turnovers here early on from their full-court press against the Badgers.
Better job of hedging off of that cutter and then recovering that time by the Lady Badgers.
Badgers need a good turnover here, a quick turnover if they can. A lot of time left in this game, however, and the Lady Cats are looking down low. It's a good block by Rook Sims, and it'll go off of her and out of bounds, but there's a good block to send it out of bounds against Kira Kesterson. Looking on the inbounds, and a good move on the back end of that by Kesterson. Thrown up off of the backboard, and that's 2 more points to Katie Cannon.
Dangerous pass there, Lady Badgers. Escaped with that one, but that's a dangerous pass against a full court pressure under your own basket.
It is, and good job by the Badgers to get it past the full court, the midline of the court, and now it'll be 15-10, the largest lead we've seen. The Badgers down by 5. We saw Lyle go in hard, but decided better against it, better pull back and reset with her Lady Cats around her. Cannon across to Paige Evans. Back to Thacker. Kesterson going to dribble back up and reset once again. Across to Cannon. Dribbles inside. Short jumper and a good stop by Cannon to throw it off the backboard. It's 17-10. Dangerous pass. Cross-court throw. Picked up by Whitaker. Dribbled inside. Rook Sims finding an open player as well, and it'll be picked up by the Lady Cats, dribbling inside quickly. Good crossover move, but blocked by Whitaker. Good block by the senior. Wide open look, though. Good find, as it'll be Gracie Lyle to extend the lead again to 9.
Jamari Whitaker leads the team in blocks. Her and Hannah Fanaki, but most of Jamari's come in defensive transition. She has just a knack to be able to get back and then defend that shot and block the layups.
Whitaker will throw up a 2-pointer, but it'll rim out again. Rook Sims attempted to get the rebound, but it's tipped away by the Lady Cats, and the Badgers will reset. Badgers have been pretty quiet here, only scoring 4 minutes into the second quarter. Passed around the rim again. Good ball movement from the Badgers. Good move by Whitaker. Thrown across. Moving inside. Good spin move by Jamari Whitaker off of the backboard, and she'll get the second and third points for the Badgers now. Bearcats are finding a lot of open looks here. The Lady Cats are finding a lot of open looks here thus far and capitalizing on them. 3-pointer attempted, but it'll be blocked instead as the Whitaker will dribble up the court quickly, look for the backboard. It rims off the top as well, and so it'll be the Badgers' ball.
I think Arkadelphia was fortunate there to not get called for on the loose ball foul on the rebound. They're going to say it went out of bounds last touch by the Lady Cats.
Yeah, Tately Thacker and Jamari Whitaker's younger sister in her sophomore year, Ashari Whitaker, was able to get it last. And I believe the clock did not start on time, and so we'll reset.
Hey, it wasn't just the one on the screen this time. It was actually the real one.
You're right, Chris. So we will reset, but Badgers not out of this by any means. It's 19-12, and we got lots of time left. You'd like to see them tie things up, if not go ahead before halftime.
Yeah, you'd like to get this to a 1 or 2 possession game with some quality offensive sets.
Dangerous pass kept alive by the Badgers, but thrown right into the hands of Kesterson, who'll pick it up, toss it back out. Dribbled inside around court to McClare. Strong dribble inside, but it'll be Nix who comes up with it.
Nice job by Hannah Fanaki of defending that post, a block, and forcing her baseline and then not fouling on the shot.
And it goes out of bounds. And it'll be to the Lady Cats. We were looking for a call there, Chris.
A little bit of indecision there. I don't think either official either knew which call to make or wanted to make one, but regardless, it will go over to the Lady Cats. And now the Lady Badgers coming out in a 2-2-1 pressure.
Well, it was the right call. The ball had bounced right before going out of bounds off of the knee of Nix. Good pass inside, though. So regardless if they didn't know, they still got it right, and it goes against the Badgers. But the Badgers forced a little bit of a press early on right there. First time we've seen them do that in this game. 19-12, your score, 7-point lead in favor of Mena. Pass inside, dribbling around. Looked almost like a travel, but we've seen multiple times tonight that McClair is looking for a three-pointer and tripped up. Down goes Paige Evans.
And the foul's on Jamari Whitaker coming up from her. Guarding the point guard, she tried to flash down to the high post and get a little hand in there, but got too much body, and the foul was called.
On the inbounds, it'll be Emily Wagner. And once again, McClair looking for a deep three, but Whitaker in her face, not allowing that to happen.
Well, Mena goes to that short corner an awful lot, even in this man-to-man offensive set. Nice job by Mary Jane Adame disrupting the offense with a walk.
Man, what a job, though, by Paige Evans for the Lady Cats to put that up between three defenders. And it'll be a foul called against Cannon, as there's a good pass by Whitaker inside to Mary Jane Adame, and she'll shoot two for her reward. Well, Chris, what can you say about how the Badgers women's team has done this year and their progress moving forward?
It's a very young team. You know, you have three seniors in Jamari Whitaker, Mary Jane Adame, and Hannah Fanaki, and the rest are sophomores. Haven Cooper is the only junior on the team, and this is her first action of the year. So a very young team. You look out there now, and you've got two sophomores and the three seniors, and then there will be several times tonight where you'll have four sophomores, maybe if not five, depending on the foul trouble situation. So it's a young team, also still learning the system under first-year head coach Jonathan Klein.
Well, Adame misses both, and so it'll be a 21-12 contest, continual. Passed around to Cannon. She'll move it inside. Almost stolen away by Nix.
Good double team there by Mary Jane Adame, and nice flash and getting a hand on the ball by Adame and Nix. It's a young team, but it is a talented sophomore group. Haley Nix has led the team in scoring a few times Friday night in a win against Hope. It was Kaylin Rook-Sims who had a spark in the second half. She had, I believe it was 13 points and had a couple of big offensive possessions, both scoring and finding Hannah Fanaki in the post. So it's kind of been from different players of that sophomore group.
And that'll be the Bearcats with three more from McClair. Stolen away quickly, put up on the left hand, but rimmed out and a foul called. But a good job by Allie Wright to get the Lady Cats back with the possession. It'll be Hannah Stockton into the match to shoot two.
The Lady Badgers have gone about 7 deep this year. 10 of those Lady Badgers have played tonight. Obviously, we mentioned Haven. Hannah Calhoun has gotten a few minutes tonight, but mainly it's been the five you see on the floor right now, plus Kaylin Rook-Sims and Olivia Locke have been the 7 deep that Coach Klein has gone with in his rotation so far this season.
Both will miss. Rebounded by the Badgers, and Adame moved up the court slowly by Whitaker. She'll reset and look to get a good shot off here with just under a minute left in the second quarter. Nix with a good move. Looking to drive inside. She will throw up one. It'll rim off, though, and the Lady Cats will take the possession again.
.40 left. Looks like they're going to pull it out and try to get one last shot and look at four corners type offense here.
And McClair holding it. She just took that deep three.
I'll get it to the point guard and set things up with probably about 15 seconds left.
You can see McClure looking up consistently to see the clock and how much time is left. Good pass around, looking for an open look, and she'll walk.
Nice job. Jamari Whitaker up top really forced the Mena point guard to pick up that dribble a little bit earlier than I think she wanted to. And when her teammate on the right wing caught it, Haley Nix was there and forced a turnover.
Nix inside, passed it to Whitaker. Across to Nix, deep three, rims off. The other Whitaker throws it back up, and it'll rim off as well. Well, at the end of 2, we'll go to halftime. It's 24-12. The Badgers trailing to Mena after 2 quarters of play, Chris. But what do the Badgers need to do to come back in this one?
Well, it's been kind of the story all season for the Lady Badgers. It's just scoring. You know, you get some open looks. Some of the possessions result in some maybe wilder penetration moves, but it's just been the inability or the struggle in scoring. At some point, those fortunes will change throughout the year, but you just hope in a game like tonight you can come out in the third quarter and change that and be able to have a little bit better shooting second half. They've gotten some good looks, they just haven't gone. Defensively, Mena has had several looks on baseline cutters across from the backside, and they've also gotten some offensive putbacks. The offensive rebounds are what a coach really bugs a coach, and that's one of the things that they're going to emphasize, coming into halftime. It is halftime, and we will take a little break. We won't go anywhere. We will put the camera on the scoreboard, and then we'll be back with the third quarter at halftime. It is Mena in the girls' game. It is Mena 24, Arkadelphia 12. We'll be back in a few minutes with the second half.
We are back to start things once again here at Arkadelphia High School. The Lady Badgers facing off against the Lady Cats of Mena High School. And so far it's a 24-12 matchup. The Badgers trailing the Lady Cats after 2 quarters of play. I'm Josh Salem here with Chris Babb. And so far Katie Cannon leading all scorers for the Lady Cats with 7 points. Tately Thacker has 4, as well as Paige Evans with 4. Then for the Badgers, Haley Nix has 3, as Shari Whitaker with 3 herself, and her sister Jamari Whitaker with 2. Kaylin Rook has 2 as well. Thrown up, but it'll be the Bearcats who almost had it. Good job by the Badgers to obtain it, though, and push things forward. Whitaker flying up the court. Passed across to Nix. Thrown inside, was looking for a foul, but nothing called. Around to Kesterson. Pass back to Cannon. Quick step by Thacker, and she'll think better of it. Pass it back up and reset with Evans. Hard inside. Thacker driving in. It'll rim out. And the rebound was got for a second by Finaki. But the Badgers will get it again. Whitaker moving forward, and Chris, what do we need to see here in this quarter from the Badgers to come back a little bit in this one? It'll rim out on the three-pointer, but a rebound by Whitaker, and she'll get fouled. But we only saw that the Lady Cats scored 3, or excuse me, the Badgers only scored 3 in the second quarter.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a good start to the third quarter. Shot by Olivia just didn't quite go down, rattled around, but a positive on that possession. Shari Whitaker being active on the offensive glass and getting the rebound, getting fouled. She misses her first free throw, but you just got to take advantage of the opportunities that you have. In a low-scoring game like this, you're not going to have a ton of possessions, and if you do have the possessions, you've got to take care of and take advantage of that, and the Lady Badgers haven't to this point.
Well, you did mention to me earlier, Chris, that the Badgers, they have a 3-game home winning streak going right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, trying to make it a 3-game tonight.
Trying to make it the third.
A win 2 Fridays ago against Gurdon. Sorry about the camera, trying to get a different setting on here. But look at the offensive foul on,
I believe
Gracie
that is
Lyles. I believe.
Gracie Lyle.
I believe it was off the ball, so it must have been an illegal screen. I was caught watching the other side of the floor, but regardless, Badger ball. Yeah, a win 2 Friday nights ago against Gurdon, and then a home win this past Friday night against the Hope Lady Bobcats. And so the Lady Badgers trying to capitalize on that 2-game win streak, but obviously they've got to get some offense going here in the second half.
And they'll look to do it so with Whitaker right here, going to pass it up. Quick move by Olivia Locke, but it'll be missed, and so it'll be 24-12 continuing as the Lady Cats will push it up the court. Inside and thrown off the backboard, but the Badgers will come up with it on the good rebound from Whitaker.
Yeah, Hannah Finaki again active on that defensive post. There you go.
And Nix will put it in with a short jumper for 2. Gets the Badgers on the board here for the first time in this quarter.
A score and a stop, a score and a stop. If you can string a few of those together, you can get yourself back into this game slowly but surely.
The most important thing for the Badgers right now is to get those stops. They're down by 10, but they've got to take advantage, of the opportunities that they get on open looks, 3s and 2s, as well as free throws. They're drawing a lot of fouls, but not making a lot of the free throw shots.
Right. Man-to-man defense, although they're not pressuring way out, letting picking them up about the 3-point line, pack line defense. Coach Klein runs. That's a traveling violation. It's going to be called there against Mena on that high ball screen. You try to catch. If you have the person from the wing coming up atop, you hope that the defender is going to jump that. You can spin around your left shoulder and go in for a layup. But a little happy feet on that one and took too many steps before she dribbled the ball.
Well, that was Paige Evans, and so she's got 4 points thus far into the matchup, but got a little too quick to move inside and traveled. Nix inside, throwing one up, and it'll looked as if she got fouled, Chris, but nonetheless, she throws it hard off the backboard and gets the Badgers to within 8.
Yeah, there's your score and a stop and a score. Now, if you can get another stop, you can get this to a 2-possession game again.
And it doesn't always have to look pretty, Chris.
Just got to go through the net.
3-point attempt, and it'll be drained by Kesterson. She's got 4 points.
Yeah, big response that time by the Mena Lady Cats.
And a good job as well on the back end. First with the pass down low, as well as the putback by Olivia Locke. She's got 3 now.
A little bit better offensive flow for the Lady Badgers these last few minutes of the third quarter. See if they can continue that as they try to put together a couple of defensive stops.
Kesterson trying to move quickly up the court, just left the ball behind her, but she'll get back and recover to it. And stolen away by Nix. But a lot of contact as well by Katie Cannon.
And Coach Wright's going to call a timeout for Mena, a 30-second timeout. Looks like Haven Cooper will check in for the Lady Badgers. Saw her mom at halftime. I said, well, does she feel a little bit rusty? She said, oh, yeah, she does feel rusty. And you can tell. I mean, she hasn't played since our season ended last year in March. And so this is her first action since in almost a calendar year. So, yeah, we see some of the Badger students showing up now in some of their glorious
attire. What would you call that?
Knuckleheads.
Yeah, sure.
I can do that. I can call them that. No, it must have been a beach theme tonight. And
well, you love their support coming out to support.
Yeah, it's been really fun. The last few home games, especially conference games. This is only the third or fourth home game that Arkadelphia has had. Didn't have any in the first semester. We had one in the first semester on December 18th. The Badger football team, went to the state championship game, and that was December 9th. The Lady Badgers had their full allotment of games, but the Badgers Coach Williams did not play any until the football team. So this is, the first only 3 or 4 home games that these teams have had, and so these students have enjoyed being able to get out here and support their fellow classmates. Good hustle by the Lady Badgers on defense. Good execution by Mena.
And that'll go out on Mena as they were looking for a tipped ball.
Yeah, Coach Wright is asking. Now all 3 are going to talk about it. Now, if none of the 3 saw it, if they talk about it, I'm going to say, so none of them saw it off the bat. And so after they talk about it, then they just verified that I didn't have a tip, did you? And he said no. And so then
was it close?
Get back to him. It
was close enough to just say we couldn't even tell from up here. And that'll be a travel.
Yeah. Just got Haven got going a little bit too fast for where she was ready to go there. Nice ball reversal by the Lady Badgers against that pressure from Mena on that possession. Just couldn't cash in. Was that a traveling violation? Now we have an offensive foul again.
That's a second one against the Lady Cats going the other direction. Didn't see who it was on, but it goes the other way. It's 27-18, a 9-point lead in favor of the Lady Cats.
That's the third personal foul on Mena's Paige Evans.
Dribbling around, passing it to Nix. She'll reset, move inside, and it'll be blocked. But instead, there'll be a foul as well called. I believe she got shoved forward, and she may have twisted her ankle. She's currently propped up with herself against the wall, trying to walk on it.
Yeah, Haley's she's a tough one. She'll try to walk that off if she can. Obviously, it's still hitting her a little bit, and they're gonna.
It looked as if there was a shove from behind.
There was some contact. She landed funny when she went up for that. She landed funny on the baseline, and so they're going to give her a minute or so to see if she can go. And now she's going to ask for a sub, and Kaylin Rook-Sims is going to come in to replace Haley. She's going to go down in the hallway by the locker room maybe and prop that sucker up and let Coach Kuhn look at it. So Kaylin Rook-Sims will come in to replace Haley. A good free throw shooter is Kaylin, so she'll try to get the Lady Badgers to within 7.
She'll drain the first one, but Jonathan Klein, head coach, goes over and checks on Nix as well. Hopefully she's all right and just has a sprained ankle. Nothing too serious. The Badgers have had to deal with injuries a little bit on this women's team, but are fighting through that. You saw that Haven Cooper's back on the floor, and she's been nursing that knee.
Ooh.
Little too high by the Lady Cats as it's thrown out of bounds from Katie Cannon.
You know, this is a point in the game where the Lady Badgers, you know, there's not really any momentum one way or the other. Mena hit a 3 to answer a couple of Lady Badger offensive possessions, but for the most of the third quarter, the Lady Badgers, although the score haven't really caught up that much, you know, they've gained 4 points in the first 5.5 minutes, or 5:50 of the third quarter. They need to close this third quarter out in the final 2 minutes and keep some rhythm offensively to get back in it, and then carry it on to the fourth quarter.
Working down low, but 4 defenders are there. Strong pressure against the Lady Cats. Good job by the Badgers, but thrown down low, and a foul called against Haven Cooper.
Yeah, that's a nice look by Andrea Machler from the right baseline. A skip pass, not to the opposite wing, but to the opposite block. Caught someone on that backside of the Arkadelphia defense out of position, and she was able to find
Brenna Ains
there, and Haven Cooper called for a foul.
And Ains will drain the first of 2 free throws. (28-19) your score as the next one hits off the middle of the rim, and it'll be rebounded by the Badgers. Good pass inside, quick jump, and layup put in by Olivia Locke.
Yeah, good transition basket by the Lady Badgers there to get this game back to 7.
And it all starts with a find by Whitaker right there to get it to Olivia Locke. Was looking for the rebound, but the Badgers will not come up with it. The Lady Cats, as it's tipped out, and they'll reset with Andrea McClare.
Nice recovery by Jamari Whitaker and a traveling violation. Nice, just not hard pressure from Kaylin Rook-Sims, but Emily Wagner was looking to go to the basket. Kaylin was in her way, and she forced the travel.
And she did, and the travel comes against Emily Wagner, but she'll cash out.
Ashari Whitaker comes in, checks in for Haven Cooper in the Lady Badger lineup.
Three-point shot. Rims out, and it is almost rebounded by the Badgers. And again, stolen almost by Whitaker, but good job on the ball handling from the Mena Lady Cats.
Yeah, another good look by the Lady Badgers. Just couldn't quite get it to go down. And Mena's going to come out in this four corners type offense, try to milk the clock, and then looks maybe try with about 15 seconds left, try to get another possession off, but almost a steal as we widen out a little bit by Kaylin Rook-Sims, but Mena's back in their set.
Thrown up, but a good catch by Brenna Ains, showing off her hops, and it'll be a reset again as the Lady Cats are looking to try and take the last shot. It didn't work so well at the second quarter of the last quarter, but there was a traveling call against them.
Nice cut that time from the backside. That was Hannah Stockton. The danger when you're defensively against that stall game in the last 45 seconds is that you catch yourself losing your girl, and that's exactly what happened. Arkadelphia allowed the cutter to come across to the low post and got across her face. The pass was there, and Hannah Fanaki was called for a foul.
I believe that's her third or fourth thus far. But Badgers only have two into that's her third, correction. And both free throws are missed. And a rebound by the Lady Cats with 7 seconds left.
That's a tough one, a 2-on-1, and Mena got the offensive rebound.
Wide open look, airballed, and a jump ball before the clock goes off. But it doesn't look like we're going to give it more time.
The Arkadelphia, the odds of driving the length of the floor 9 seconds. We're not and getting a basket to end the third quarter probably weren't great. But the Lady Badgers had the 2-on-1 advantage there on the defensive glass, and Mena was still able to keep that one alive. Fortunately for the Lady Badgers, the three-pointer from the left corner was no good, and the lead is still 7. So it was 24-12 at halftime. The Lady Badgers have made up 5 of that deficit. And so, this game, 7-point game, 3-possession game, at some point the Lady Badgers are going to need to come up with a couple of good offensive possessions and get in the rhythm. Neither team has the momentum right now, although Mena has a 7-point lead. They're more in the mode of hanging on to this. Arkadelphia can try to get back in this and take the momentum and put some pressure on the Lady Cats and get back into this, make this at least a 1-possession game.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it was 13 points that they scored in the second quarter to make it 24-9 when we started the 24 to 11, I believe, because we only got 2 or maybe 12. You're right, 24-12, and so. But moving forward, the Badgers have done well to come back in this one. They shortened the deficit, and they're down by 7 now, 28-21, as we resume play here with 8 minutes left in this matchup between the Mena Lady Cats and the Arkadelphia Badgers.
Yeah, the theme this year for the Lady Badgers has been just 2 things. One, not being able to finish games when you lead late. That's been the result in about 3 of the losses. But also just having some bad stretches. Tonight, so far, the bad stretch was in the second quarter when they only scored 3 points. And those have been the difference in several games this year.
Great job by Hannah Fanaki to get the rebound off of Whitaker's 3-point miss. But she'll draw the foul and go to the free throw line. And now this is important. You got to make at least one of these 2 to push it to a 2-possession game.
Yeah, you really would like to take advantage of your time at the free throw line. And I know just off the top of my head, I can remember 4 or 5 misses already at the free throw line for the Lady Badgers tonight. Hannah Fanaki really needs to get this one as it to just not tonight. Nice hustle by Olivia Locke to be able to get that rebound.
Well, it's going to be rebounded by the Lady Cats. As the Badgers did get the rebound, but were unable to catch the back end of that putback, and so it'll be 28-21 continuing here for the Lady Cats, who are going to try and take as much time off the clock as they can, but get an open look as well. Good shot off of the back end. That's 2 points, courtesy of, I believe, Brenna Ains. Or excuse me, no, it was Emily Wagner. Turnover by the Badgers, and we'll move the other direction. And the Badgers have been getting beat down low. Short arm the 2-pointer, and it'll be Fanaki who gets it, tosses up to Whitaker. She's got help. Good move. Unable to get it on the back end, but she gets her own rebound. Pass to the other Whitaker and knocked out of bounds by the Lady Cats, Hannah Stockton. Yeah,
the Lady Badgers were fortunate on the previous defensive possession. They got caught asleep again.
Deep 3-pointer will hit off the front of the rim, and that'll be a double dribble. Called for 2 hands, and you look over and see the reaction from Scott Wright, and he nods as it was the right call. But
yeah, the fans didn't like it because you just don't see that very often. See the unforced error that bad. Coach Wright must have seen it because he was nodding his head in agreement as soon as it was called.
Whitaker trying to make a quick move here. Going to pass it around to her sister. Back to Whitaker. Whitaker across to Sims. Rook Sims, and she'll pass it over to an open look. Across again to Whitaker.
Nice dump
down
inside
low
to Fanaki.
Short jumper, going to rim out. And that'll go out of bounds off Fanaki's pass. But
nice ball movement that time by the Lady Badgers. Just couldn't get the shot to go down as we have wholesale substitutions again for Mena with 5 subs. Just good ball movement, ball reversal. Finding the open person, just couldn't get the shot to go down on those possessions.
Yeah, Locke with the wide open long jumper, but unable to capitalize and drain it. 30-21 your score as the clock continues to go down. It's under 6 minutes. Stolen away by Fanaki. but thrown by the Badgers, and it's Whitaker who's coming up with it. She'll dribble down the court. Short jumper. And it looks as if it was a foul, but there was a lot of contact. Nothing called against Whitaker.
It looked like when the defender contested the shot, she might have gotten something. I don't know if it was ball or arm. Regardless, the officials say last touch by Arkadelphia. Long three-pointer from Lyle.
Off the back of the rim and rebounded by the Lady Cats. Foul called and the and one opportunity here, as it was Locke contesting. And she looks to be a little banged up there, but it'll be a and one shot from Taylor Thacker. Front of the rim, no good. 32-21. The Lady Cats lead by 11. Dangerous pass. Whitaker inside. Finaki hits off of the foot of a Lady Cat, and it'll go out of bounds.
Lady Cats thought it might have gone off of the knee of Finaki, and they might have had a case there.
Rook Sims across. Going to need to get it in soon. And smart decision by Rook Sims to just throw it off of the left leg of Taylor Thacker. Gets it to Whitaker quickly to the front. Locke quickly to Rook Sims. She'll pull it out. 5 minutes left in this fourth quarter of play. The Badgers need to do something good here to come back in this one.
Yep, you've gone back to now. Mena has squared it up in the second half. You had a 12-point lead. It got down to 6 or 7. I think it was just 7, and now Mena stretched that back out to a 12-point lead.
And not a smart foul from Katie Cannon to stop the clock against the Badgers driving in. It'll be thrown in by the Badgers' Olivia Locke.
Next foul will put Arkadelphia in the 1-and-1.
Inside, Whitaker blocked, however, by Paige Evans. And a jump ball of Rook Sims against the Lady Cats, and she'll just give the ball up and go back onto the defensive side of play. The Badgers cannot afford to give up any more unforced turnovers.
You're almost to the point where you can't afford to give them up any more points, especially when they're uncontested.
Rook Sims taking it up quickly as 2 points were added again to the score to make it 34 for the Lady Cats. (34-21). The Badgers trailing by 13. Whitaker to her sister. Deep three off the front of the rim, and we'll reset with the Lady Cats dribbling up the court. Almost the referee getting involved a little bit. You saw the Gracie Lyle had to dribble around, and wide open. Looked as if Locke got all ball, and you can hear the fans.
Yeah, anytime you come down with a tomahawk chop like that, most of the time. Now, if you're watching this at home and you watch Friday night's game, you saw Hannah Finaki get away with one of those. But that was more often than not, that one's going to be called a foul just from your hand motion of coming down.
Thacker will drain the first of 2 free throws. Look for her second from the charity stripe. Just under 4 minutes of play, 3 minutes and 43 left, and it'll take a kiss off of the backboard and the front of the rim, and so we'll have a timeout from, I believe Mena called it.
Yeah, Mena's going to call a full timeout, up by 15 with 3:43 left. And see on your left side of your screen, Haley Nix has run off that sore ankle, and she's checking back into the game. So good to see that Haley is able to check back into the game for the Lady Badgers. We'll see what lineup they come out with. Looks like it'll be Haley Nix, Jamari Whitaker, Kaylin Rook Sims, Shari Whitaker, and maybe Haven Cooper.
Well, it's a great sign just to see Nix back on the floor. And, we have the men's game right after, so we don't want anyone to go away here. But you'd like to see the Badgers pull out a win tonight at some point. And,
you take a look at the boys' game. These two teams are 4-1. Tonight is the final night of the first round of the double round robin 4A7 conference schedule.
Right.
And so this Friday night we'll begin the second part of that. And Arkadelphia and Mena on the boys' side are tied atop the 4A7 at 4-1, and one of those teams will have the edge as they go into the second round of the second half of the double round robin. Inbound it in the corner. That's awful dangerous, but the Lady Badgers are able to recover from it.
Nix, she'll make a move, get it back out. Tries to throw it to Rook Sims, but it'll go out of bounds. Well, Chris, I believe this will be, in one season, the third time after this game tonight with the men's team versus Mena. They'll play each other for a third time this season because they played in a tournament earlier this season, and Mena got the best of the Badgers in that one, but wasn't the best shooting performance from the Badgers in that one.
No, it will be, as we see the Lady Cats come out with a stall tactic, up 15. Probably going to try to make the Lady Badgers play tight defense, take care of the ball. Arkadelphia is going to pressure, and I believe a foul is going to be called on Kaylin Root-Sims there, but that's the 6th team foul against the Lady Badgers. So the next foul from either team will put both teams will be in the 1-1. But yeah, you mentioned played each other at Lake Hamilton. I was talking to Coach Powell of Mena last night at the junior high games, and he says, that's not really the same as a conference game just because, different situations you're playing and you're further in the season now. But Mena, one of the top teams in the conference coming into the season. They were expected to be very good record as they come into tonight's game, 13-5. It'll be a tough test for the Badgers. Nice job by the Lady Badgers of pressuring the ball, not allowing Mena to dictate the flow of that offensively. But now Mena's still going to come with their full court pressure, a little 2-2-1, three-quarter court pressure, actually.
Gracie Lyle threw that one out of bounds, and so now it'll be thrown up the court by Whitaker, just trying to force some action, but Rook Sims will hit off her leg on a diving play.
Yeah, nice hustle by Kaylin that time. Jamari just trying to throw something over the top of the defense, but it wasn't there. Nice job by Mena of deflecting the pass. Nice job, Kaylin, of disrupting that handoff. They're looking for Lyle to dribble to the left side, handoff, and Kaylin did a nice job of deflecting or disrupting the plan of the Mena offense.
Shari Whitaker with the rebound. She'll dribble it up the court. Thrown inside. Trying to get it to Nix, and it'll be another jump ball, so I believe it stays with the Badgers. Yep. Good job by Nix to fight for that one. We are just under 2 minutes left in this matchup between the Arkadelphia Badgers and the Lady Cats of Mena High School. Good two-pointer.
That's good to see. Haven Cooper, sorry to interrupt you there, gets her first basket. As we mentioned, we've talked about Haven so far tonight. First action of the year after being a starter and playing significant minutes last year. Good to see Haven kind of get back in the flow.
Shari taking it up the court. She'll stop for a second and pass inside. Haven Cooper turns into a wall, but it's going to be blocked on the attempt by Sims. Rook Sims, and taken back up the court past the midline by the Lady Cats, Gracie Lyle. Well, you'd like to see just some good basketball here in this last minute of play. Thrown up the court, and that'll be an over and back.
Yeah, good effort by the Lady Badgers. Sorry about missing that one on the camera there, but good effort by the Lady Badgers, and that's what you want to see as a coach, is whoever's out there finishing strong, being able to build on this to go into a tough game with the Lady Miners of Bauxite on the road on Friday. And now you've got to get your feet set and be ready to shoot the ball when you catch it. She just didn't quite get the ball to go.
Pass inside, Haven Cooper with the dribble, but blocked on the back end by Paige Evans. We've seen her do that a couple times tonight, and we are now under a minute, 49 seconds ticking off the clock.
Encouraging thing to see there. Haven landed awkwardly on that knee, that left knee that she has in the knee brace, bent awkwardly, and she shook it off and jogged right down the floor. Nice dish there by Mena, just couldn't quite finish.
Yeah, Evans was a good find. Evans couldn't come up with it on the back end, the easy two-pointer. And so it'll be passed across. Nix with the three-pointer, and it'll be wide right, go out of bounds. 36-23, still a 13-point lead with just under 20 seconds left. Now the Lady Cats moving forward. See Coach Wright telling his team to just reset, hold the ball currently, and it looks like they're just going to hold it in Gracie Lyle, and the time will run out. Well, that's the end of regulation for this matchup between the Arkadelphia Badgers and the Lady Cats of Mena High School. It's 36-23. The Badgers fall here at home in game one of the two games that they'll play this season.
Yep, Mena will advance to 4-2, wrap up the first half of the conference schedule right there in the middle of the pack. 7 teams in the 4A7 conference. The teams who finish first and second will get an automatic bid to the 4A South Regional, and they'll play for seeding. The teams that are 6th and 7th will essentially play a first-round game, and then 4 and 5 will play against each other. And the teams 3, 4, and 5 have to win one game to qualify for regional, and the 6th and 7th place teams will have to win 2 games. So really, if you can't get the 1 or 2 seed, you're really hoping to get 3, 4, or 5, so you just have to win one game to qualify for the 4A South Regional. The 6th and 7th place teams obviously are going to have a harder road to hoe, as they're going to have to win 2 games. Right now, the Lady Badgers are finished the first half at 1 and 5, along with the Hope, and so they got the positive on that, but they're going to really have to come out in that second half of the round robin. The thing is, we've talked about it. It's been their bugaboos. You might want to say offensively, you're getting some decent looks, getting some okay looks, but you've got to be able to convert. You've got to be able to finish offensively and score, and then let your defense take care of the rest on the other end of the floor.
And it's the same for the boys team tonight. Well, we're going to take a short break here. Don't go away. I'm Josh Salem here with Chris Babb. We'll be back in a moment for the guys' game between the Mena Cats, and the Arkadelphia Badgers. We'll be back in just a second.